This is Kanji in Danzanryu Jiu-Jitsu. I'm your host, George Arrington. In this fourth part of the Oku No Te series, we're going to be looking at techniques 10 through 14. As we've seen before, the material in these videos is taken from the scroll, which is often called the Mokuroku, or catalog scroll, of Professor Henry Seishiro Okazaki. This is the scroll that he awarded to his students when they achieved the rank of second-degree black belt and then called them instructors. The Oku No Te portion of this scroll looks like this. In this video, we're going to be looking at these techniques. The first one we're going to look at is number 10, Sakanuki. And here's how it looks on the scroll. And here's the printed version of those characters. So the first character, Saka, literally means to reverse or invert something. And Nuki means to pull out of or extract. It can mean to draw out. Sometimes Sakanuki means a reverse draw of a sword, but in this case it's a technique where there's a stomach bump and an arm whip. Okay, the brush strokes of Sakanuki look like this. So here's Saka, and I'll turn on my laser pointer, and we'll go through these. It goes 1, 2, 3, that portion. Then 4 goes down like this, 5, almost the same as in mountain, and then 6 comes through like this. And then we draw the radical, which is this part, 7, 8, looks like a figure 3 there, and 9. So this is a 9-stroke character. And then Nuki looks like this character. We have the this radical. This is the hand radical. Goes 1, 2 with a little kick on the bottom, and then 3 up at a slight angle. 4 goes across, 5 comes down through the 4th stroke, and then 6, and then 7, like that. So the next technique is Gyakute Nage, and here's the image that we see in the scroll. The printed version would look like this, and the first character may look familiar to you. It's called Gyaku, and it means reverse. And you may recall in the previous technique that the character Saka also meant reverse, and indeed that is the same character with a different pronunciation. So in the previous, in number 10, in Sakanuki, it was pronounced Saka, and in this technique, number 11, it's pronounced Gyaku, which means reverse. The next character is Te, which means hand. And then the third character is Nage, which means throw. Now, the first two characters put together, you could say simply as reverse hand, but they can also mean an underhanded grip, and it could even imply something being underhanded. But it also, in other contexts, can mean a surprise plot twist. So several different meanings for this combination of characters. So let's look at the brush strokes here, turning on the laser pointer. The first character we saw previously is Gyaku, or Saka, as in the previous technique. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the radical 7, 8, and 9. So we've seen that before. Te we've seen before. It goes 1 this way, 2 and 3 from left to right, and then 4 comes down through slightly arced with a little kick on the bottom, and then nage, which is 1, 2 with a kick, 3. And I mentioned that this radical is actually the hand radical. It is the radical for this character when it's used in the combination of when it's used as a radical in a particular character. So 1, 2, 3. Then the right portion is 4, 5 with a little kick upwards there, 6, and then 7. Technique number 12 is Han Tomoe, Han Tomoe. And there's the image from the scroll. The print characters look like this. Now, the first character, Hon, can mean primary. It can mean some other things too. It can mean a book. It can also be a counter for cylindrical objects. But in this case, it means the primary or basic or fundamental thing. And in this case, the thing that we're talking about is tomoe, tomoe. And tomoe means comma-shaped. Now, when we talk about tomoe nage, which is a throw where you put your foot in the stomach, fall backwards, and throw them over top of you, we often call that a circle throw. So some people would say tomoe means circle, but it actually means comma-shaped. And a comma shape looks like this. Now, when you do the throw, one visual thing is it might look something like this, almost like a yin and yang shape, but that's kind of a visualization of the tomoe nage. Now, the hon tomoe that we see in Oku is done with you do the throw and then do a rollover on top of the person and do a strangle. Some people will do this with 1 foot. Some people will actually jump up and use 2 feet to do the tomoe nage. Okay, the brush strokes for Han Tomoe. Hon, it looks like this. 1, 2 comes straight down, 3, 4, and then 5. And incidentally, this character is also used if we put the character for sun before this. That would be Nihon or Nippon, which is the name for Japan. And then the second character, 1, this is for tomoe, 1 goes over and down, 2 comes straight down like that. You got to be careful not to go way down like this, just a little bit there. So 2, 3 closes off that, and then 4 closes off the left side of that box down with a little upward arc right there. So that's Han Tomoe's brushstrokes. Next, we see katate tomoe. So we see that this is another tomoe nage type technique. Here are the printed characters. Now, kata means a single-sided, one of a pair, if you wish. Single would be kata in this case. And what is the single of? Well, it's the single hand, te, katate. So single-sided hand, one hand of a pair of hands, and then the tomoe, which is the comma-shaped. And so this technique in the Oku is a one-handed tomoe nage. Rather than using the hands on the arm and lapel, you take a hold of only one of their arms, straighten it, and then do the tomoe nage with one of their arms. So that's what this technique is. Single-sided or single-handed tomoe nage. Now the brush strokes for this look like this. So here's kata. So you come down like so for stroke number 1. 2, you might think you do this one first, but actually you do this one first. Then you do 3. So again, 1, 2, 3, straight across. And then 4 comes down like this. I often picture this as somebody running with a candle in their hand. So that's what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Then te we've seen before. 1, 2, 3. This arced 4 with a little kick on the end. And then tomoe that we saw in the previous one. 1, 2 comes down through the center there. 3, and then 4 with a little kick on the end. Next, we see this technique. Now, some people look at this and say, "Oh, this is shigurami," because that's what the boards in the dojo said, that this was shigurami. But actually, that doesn't say that. It says tegurami. One might argue that it should be shugurami, because shu is a pronunciation of the word for hand, as in shuto. But if you show this to somebody who speaks Japanese, native Japanese speaker, they will look at this and say that this is tegurami. But we'll look into that just a little bit further here. The printed characters look like this. And the first character is te, which of course means hand. And then this character, which is garami or karami, means to tie something up. And again, our tradition in Danzanryu says that this is an entanglement, that karami means entanglement. Well, actually, this particular character does not mean entanglement. This character, which is also pronounced karami or garami, does mean to entangle something, but that's not the character which is used in this particular technique. As a matter of fact, this particular character is an old character. It's not in common use anymore. So let's look at the brush strokes of this one. So here's te. We've seen this in several of the techniques. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 comes down like this with a little kick on the end. Now the garami technique, the garami kanji, is rather complicated. You notice it has 13 strokes. So the radical for this is the hand radical, this part right here. 1, 2, 3. And then we draw this particular shape twice. 4, 5. Now 6 is all of this. It goes down, over, down with a little kick. And then 7 goes 1, 2, like that. Actually, I'm sorry, they go down in that direction. That's 7 and that's 8. So you then repeat that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is garami. And again, it's an uncommon kanji. It's hard to find that in some of the dictionaries. Much of the material which is found in this video is taken from my book, Mokoroku and Kaiden Sho. This is a book that I first wrote in 1996, and it contains the translation of several of the scrolls, as well as other material which was written in Japanese by Professor Okazaki. It is available on Amazon, so I hope you'll pick up a copy of this. If you're interested in Danzanryu in general, I would highly recommend my book, Danzanryu Essentials. This has a lot of overview of the Danzanryu system, stories about many of the primary people in the system, as well as a lot of other material. So I hope you'll pick that up on Amazon. Well, I thank you for watching this series of videos. I hope that you got something out of it. And if you indeed enjoyed it, please consider pressing the like button. Take care.